Hello and welcome to March 2, the pod presented by Eternal Roofing. It is a special Monday episode as we're revealing our Conference USA basketball tournament brackets, and I've got QR codes galore for you to submit your own, scan and get it in there. I am Corey Hogue, host, producer. I was once banned from catfans.com and then I got pardoned. Find me on social media at Cory Hogue Sports, except for Twitter. Don't even look for me there right now. You ain't going to find me. As always, I'm joined by the one who has the right brackets. I was making late bracket changes, as we were trying to get going here. The guy with the correct brackets is also the man behind at Sports of SHSU on Twitter and Instagram, COO of the Cat Fund, proud Bearkat himself, Ben Sorrells. And we got to start off the only way there is. There's a new intro. If you were watching from the very beginning, you saw it. But let's play what we must start this week off with.
Got three, connects, popped up, game over. The name of Tiffany Sanchez lives forever in Sam Houston history.
That's right. Tiffany Sanchez hit through a no-hitter. And, we could talk about the call here in a minute, but more importantly, Tiffany Sanchez threw a no-hitter. And the softball team, they won 2 of 3 over UTEP this weekend. But that no-hitter, that's special, especially, those don't happen very often, Ben, in college softball anymore.
Yeah, really anywhere. And she was a hit by pitch away from it being a perfect game, too. I mean, She was so close. And if she would have had the perfect game, it would have been the first 7-inning perfect game in program history. But regardless, an incredible achievement. And her sister, Karina, was actually on the team the last time there was a no-hitter thrown. It wasn't thrown by her sister, but in 2021, her sister was on the roster. So there's been a Sanchez on the roster for the last 2 no-hitters for Sam Houston.
Tell those parents to keep having babies. We need more no-hitters.
Yeah, she was a pitcher too. She was a good one also.
So, yeah, look, if you're a play-by-play guy and you are calling a no-hitter, let it breathe. Like when he said going down in Sam Houston history, perfect. Stop and let that moment breathe. He didn't, and that made cutting it very challenging.
Didn't know where to stop it.
Oh, I knew, but you've got to be very quick because he put no room in between that and talking about UTEP. Like it was more about UTEP at that moment. It was not.
Yeah. Yeah, the UTEP guy in the background was so disappointed, too.
He was. The play-by-play guy asked him, and he was like, yeah, it's not the start to the season we wanted.
Yeah, I know. Varying range of emotions.
Yeah, it was great. Won 2 of 3 last weekend open conference play. They're 2-1. Obviously, if they won 2 of 3, they're 16-10 overall. And big game tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday, huge games for the softball team. They're hosting SFA. Yes, the hated Lumberjacks at 2 p.m. tomorrow. And then they travel to play Texas State at 3 p.m. Wednesday. Those times are telling me that it's spring break for most colleges.
A lot of spring break going on in Texas right now.
Yeah, you can tell because if you're playing 2 and 3 p.m. games, you're not worried about attendance, I would think.
No, not at all. And then you come back home for the conference home opener. So 5 games this week. It's a big week.
It is a big week. They host New Mexico State this weekend to continue. But SFA, I would want a crowd for that.
Yeah.
You talked about it over the weekend, how you wish that rivalry would come back. We know it's not going to come back for football, right? Like that, it's not happening for a long time, if ever. But it can happen in basketball, baseball, softball, these sports, and the fans want it. The fans of both teams want this. They need to start making it happen.
And it's hard to schedule quality opponents too, for especially basketball. Baseball maybe not as much, but softball, for example, SFA's 15-10. That's a really good midweek game. If you play each other in basketball, both SFA programs are very good at basketball. I mean, that is a quality home and home game that you should be able to rely on every other year, or home game for you every other year. And then a good road game that's winnable for you every other year. I don't know why they don't do it more often.
Are they scared to lose?
I think that's part of it.
I hate that.
And I think it's on both sides too.
Oh no, I do. I do. I think we don't want to look. No, buckle up and play.
Yeah,
Come
I
on,
agree.
that's what it's about. Give the fans what they want sometimes. Good Lord. Hey, we are going to talk about basketball. We're making our selections for the men's and the women's tournaments later on. But when we come back from this word from Eternal Roofing, we're talking a couple of sports that also had great weekends for Sam Houston.
Eternal Roofing and General Contracting is your choice for integrity work in the Texas Hill Country. Taylor Andrus and crew provide experienced quality roofing services with a mission of roofing with faith, serving with integrity, and sheltering homes in the spirit of stewardship. Don't just take our word for it. Here's what satisfied customer Pamela Allen had to say about Eternal Roofing. They did a great job on our patio roof, came out quick for a quote. The quote was very reasonable, and they started and finished work well and quickly. Not a bad thing to say about Eternal Roofing. Give Eternal Roofing a call today at area code 830-251-5673 or area code 936-215-8539, or you can email them taylor@eternalroofingtx.com.
Huge thank you to our friends at Eternal Roofing. And we got some things to talk about. Let's start with women's bowling. They needed a good weekend. They've been on the brink of maybe not making the NCAA tournament. Well, they did themselves a lot of favors this last weekend. They went to Smyrna, Tennessee, which is really, why would you even name a place Smyrna?
Just outside of Nashville.
Yeah. Vanderbilt hosted the Music City Classic. They should just do it in Nashville. It's easier for me to pronounce. And the bowling team finished second. They lost to Jack State, who we know is one of the top programs in the country every single year, in the championship game. But they beat the 3 seed, I believe it was Arkansas State, to get there. They went 8-5 in the tournament. They picked up top 15 wins over Sacred Heart and Niagara. Huge weekend for the team as a whole, Ben.
Yeah, much needed. Pretty much took care of everyone but Jack State, which is what you had to do as you continue to fight for an NCAA tournament spot. Did what you needed. Good weekend, and just got to keep the momentum going.
Brianna Chewins placed 6th individually. Maya Green was 10th, and they both made the all-tournament team. And that was so needed because now it's Conference USA Championships. They need another good showing. March 19th through 21st in Harahan, Louisiana.
Yeah, and the Conference USA Championships is practically the NCAA tournament.
It really is. It is
2/3 of the team are coming from one conference.
It's the SEC of bowling. It always is.
Yeah.
And hey Ben, we had our first in a long time. The baseball team took care of business this weekend. They hosted Prairie View A&M, and it was a
Yeah, I don't even know if we broke that out at all last year. Maybe
I don't think
softball.
we were. I don't think we could.
Yeah, I don't know if softball had a good year. I don't even know if we brought it out for them.
I had to move it up to the top of the playlist again because it was down at the bottom. I don't think there was a sweep of any series last year.
Yeah, and hopefully it's not the last time we use it this season.
Oh God, I hope not. Hey, 4-1 Friday night. That's a good game. Every college team you can expect to have a decent pitcher on a Friday night. But man, we finally got what we wanted to see. The Bats came alive in the second and third game of the series, scoring 29 runs over 12 innings. The second game Friday was 13-3, finishing it in 7 innings. And then on Saturday, another run roll, 16-1. Now, listen, I know it's Prairie View A&M. But Prairie View, they have a challenge for some swag spots sometimes. I get the pitching may not be that deep, but what this shows me is scoring 29 runs over the last 12 innings that they played. The Bats, they do have bats. They do have the offense. And maybe they've been facing some really good pitching.
Yeah, I think Jay Sirianni mentioned that post game that U of H has some good arms. Oklahoma State especially had some really good arms. that you've run into over the past week or two. And I think that's part of it, especially with some of the younger guys being elevated into bigger roles with guys being out. So hopefully this weekend can catapult you to do a little bit more offensively against a team like Jack State or Baylor that you're playing this week, a more comparable opponent. And then the pitching, I mean, just continues to be lights out from top to bottom.
The pitching last year was putrid. Well, that's not a problem this year. And if the bats gain that confidence they needed from those games, again, though, you turn around and now you go to Baylor. You're going to Waco tomorrow and facing another team that's going to have some good arms. It is a midweek. You're not getting top arms. And then you come home Friday and you open Conference USA play with Jack State at home Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm a little concerned about the game at Baylor, maybe taking some of that offensive momentum, but if they can keep that up, it's going to be a really good sign if they can go the next 4 games averaging 5-6 runs a game.
Yeah, that's what you want to see, and it sounds like Ryan Frandon's getting closer. Maybe this is the week for him. You get him back, who's probably your top bat. I mean, things continue to trend in the right direction, and you get the conference opener at home. Hopefully you can get off to a good start. Jack State is a pretty good team this season, so we'll see what they can do. But I mean, conference season is here, and you got to figure it out. I was just looking at it. Jack State is 13-3 so far this year. They are a very good program.
Are they? They're not. I mean, I don't know who they've played. I didn't look at their schedule.
They beat Cincinnati 2 out of 3. I think they swept Toledo. They took 2, or they swept Memphis. I mean, they've been pretty good this year.
They're bringing it. They're going to bring it. So get out there to the Dawn and help them support the baseball team, please. They need it. If you're enjoying the show, help us grow by rating and reviewing March to the Pod on your favorite podcast platform. Don't forget, subscribe to our Substack page, marchtothepod.substack.com. Find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube by searching for @MarchToThePod. March the number 2, the pod. We're also proud to be part of the CUSA Podcast Roundtable that has shows covering all 12 Conference USA programs. Well, the reason we're having a special Monday night show is to reveal our brackets and talk some basketball before the conference tournament starts tomorrow on Tuesday. And we will get to the women's bracket right after these words from our friends over at Eternal Roofing.
Eternal Roofing only uses the finest materials in the roofing business while providing an exceptional warranty. Why do they use CertainTeed products? Because they complement any appearance, provide exceptional and reliable strength, and are known for their enduring performance. Here's what Shane Sosa had to say about Eternal Roofing. Taylor and his team are amongst the highest level of professionals. They care about their customers and go above and beyond just doing the job. Give Eternal Roofing a call today at area code 830-251-5673 or area code 936-215-8539 or email taylor@eternalroofingtx.com.
Taylor Andrews was really happy the USA beat Great Britain the other night in baseball.
Yes, I did see that. I think we all are.
Well, yeah, look, it's fun to put it to the British every now and then, right?
As if we haven't done enough already. Let's just keep it rolling.
Now, hey, look, I did enjoy the game against Brazil too. We could talk baseball all night, but we're here to talk about basketball. And look at that, right there. We're going into small boxes so that you can scan the QR code on your screen on any of these that we're talking about. When we're talking about women, it will take you to the women's pool where you could submit your brackets, as we have teamed up with better-bracket.com. We're very happy that they were able to get this for us and very grateful that they were able to get it for us. So while we're talking women's and the men's basketball, click on that QR code. Don't click on it. Actually, take a photo of it and scan it with your camera.
It's also on our social medias too, March to the Pod.
It is on our social medias. It's on our Substack page. We have an article about that. I'm going to be putting out the QR code over the next we got less than 24 hours, so all of it kicks off now.
Yeah.
So yeah, we get these in because these picks it closes as soon as that first game starts.
Yeah, and I mean, I was looking at the men's side of it. There's a lot of people that have entered, a good amount.
Yeah. Yeah, and Gabe made a bracket. And so I can tell you if Sam Houston wins, he's got a good chance. If they win both of them, he's got a good chance of winning the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be good with one of them, but I'll be very happy if that happens.
There is no bigger Sam Houston fan when he's picking brackets than Gabe Hogue. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I asked ChatGPT to do brackets, right? And I didn't put them on or anything, but I was asking who they thought would win. They give me they're like, do you want a Sam Houston homer bracket? I was like, I can make that crap myself.
Yeah, that's not too hard to make.
Hey, last weekend, Cats finished the regular season strong, 71-59 over UTEP, 71-55 over New Mexico State. They closed the regular season 18-11 overall, 11-7 in Conference USA. And before we get to who got the awards that were released today, I think it's important, and we'll do a postseason recap, but it is important right now to take a moment and talk about 18-11, 11-7. Very good year for Raven Justice.
Very good. And we wanted to see the upward trajectory continue, and it definitely did. They finished third in the league, which is a super encouraging sign. It could have even been better. There were a few games that you kind of let slip away, but momentum in the right direction, which is what you wanted to see, and you put yourself in a spot to make some noise this upcoming week.
I kind of wanted them to be like sixth or second.
I know, yeah.
That was really my hope, and we will show you why in a minute. It is a tough draw. CUSA awards were announced today, and Fanta Kone was the Defensive Player of the Year and also first team all-conference selection, while Debra Ogayemi was a second team selection. And having watched a few of these games this year, I can say both of those very much deserve that recognition.
Absolutely. Yeah, Fanta Kone was the engine that made this team go. I mean, did it all just from points, rebounds, assists, steals, probably led the team or was close to leading the team in all of them. And then best defender in the league, averaging, I think it was about 4 steals a game. Just incredible what she was able to do. And then Debra Ogayemi was your presence down low, a team that didn't have a ton of size, but she stepped up big for you in the scoring and rebounding department. I think it was 12 or 13 points and 7 or 8 rebounds a game. So both players showed up on a nightly basis for one of the top teams in the league and got the honors they deserved.
Very well-deserved honors. So now we take a look at the Conference USA bracket, and we will see that Sam Houston, with those wins, moved from what we thought was going to be a 6th seed, most likely. They're now the 4th seed, which means they get Liberty in the first round.
Yeah.
And then if you win that one, and they've beaten Liberty once this year, and they can very well beat them again, you win that one, you likely get La Tech.
Yeah, and that's where the tough draw comes in. I mean, you were going to have to play them or FIU. Both teams are very good. You haven't had a ton of success against FIU. You have a little bit against Louisiana Tech, but I think they come in having won 15 or 16 in a row. At this point, I probably would have rather played FIU, but that's just a part of it. You beat Liberty, you still got a shot to beat Louisiana Tech. You've done it once, maybe you can do it again, but I wish we were kind of on the bottom half of that bracket, but it is what it is.
The fact is that when you look at this, Sam Houston has beaten the top 2 teams that they're expected to face in the top half of this bracket this year.
Yeah, they definitely have, and you didn't beat Middle Tennessee, and they're on the bottom half of the bracket, but you did beat both Louisiana Tech and Liberty.
So maybe that was the best thing for them. Maybe I am wrong. It doesn't happen often, Ben.
When you're wrong?
Yeah, when I'm wrong. My wife just made a noise over there. I got to check on her, make sure she's okay.
Yeah, a little scoff, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, okay. All right. Well, since everybody knows that I'm going to have the perfect bracket, as I always do, let's take a look at what I pick for this week. Starting off tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Delaware at Kennesaw. The 8-9 battle could go either way. I'm going Kennesaw for that one. The 7-10 battle, Jack State, UTEP, 2 p.m. UTEP is just there. That's just not happening. Jack State takes that one which puts us into the quarterfinals. In Wednesday's quarterfinal action, number 1, La Tech, number 9, Kennesaw State. I don't think La Tech's going to have any problem with that one. And then the 2-7 matchup, FIU Jack State. I've got FIU moving on there. Now we get interesting. Now the tournament begins on Thursday as we get to the second half of the quarterfinals. I'm taking Sam Houston to beat Liberty. I think their style of play gives a team like Liberty fits, all around fits.
Yep.
And then I'm picking an upset. Look, if you're going to win bracket challenges, you got to have an upset in there. And I think Missouri State, they have beaten Middle Tennessee. I think they do it again. You look statistically, they match up very well with Middle Tennessee. So I'm taking the 6 over the 3, and then I'm going chalk from there. I've got La Tech beating Sam Houston. I wanted to pick Sam Houston in this one, but just the way La Tech handled them in their last meeting, and they've already lost one, I think La Tech takes that one. FIU is going to be too much for Missouri State. And then La Tech is good against teams like Sam Houston and FIU now after they lost that one earlier in the year, because they hadn't lost since that game, I don't believe.
Yep.
And so La Tech is Corey's pick to be the Conference USA champion. The perfect bracket was just revealed, Ben.
Well, then mine's not perfect.
Well, I hate to tell you, Ben, you don't have a perfect bracket, but let's take a look at what yours is.
Let's do it.
You're taking the 8 seed Delaware right off the top. We have one where we disagree. You're going Delaware over Kennesaw State.
Yeah, Delaware, I like the way they played against Sam Houston when we played up there. They took us to overtime. They were scrappy. They were feisty. So I'm going to take Delaware to win that matchup in the 8-9. I agree. Jack State's probably going to handle UTEP. UTEP just got in by the skin of their teeth. Wasn't super impressed with UTEP this year. I think Jack State wins that one. Louisiana Tech definitely handles Delaware, handles their business, and moves on to the semis. FIU against Jack State. FIU, once again, FIU, I think, has kind of separated themselves as the second best team in the league over the last few weeks. And then I'm right there with you. I'd have Sam Houston beating Liberty. I think Sam Houston's style of play has done it once. I think they can do it again, especially when they don't have to play till Thursday. They get their legs fresh. I think they're going to come out with a lot of energy in that first game against Liberty and take that one. I am going to take Middle Tennessee. They, I think, have an 18-year streak of making the NCAA tournament on the line. So I think that gets them at least through this first game. I think they have enough talent and upside to win that one. And then moving back up to the top half, Louisiana Tech, unfortunately, takes down Sam Houston. Louisiana Tech just trending too good in the right direction right now. So I'm going to take them. They keep their win streak rolling to move to the finals. And then I'm going to take FIU over Middle Tennessee. So going chalk. They're in the semis, and then I've got Louisiana Tech taking down FIU. I think Louisiana Tech has just kind of separated themselves as the best team in the league at this point, just kind of steamrolling their way to a Conference USA title. And those are my predictions. I think we're pretty similar, minus that 8-9 game, and then the Middle Tennessee Missouri State game. I think we're pretty close to each other. We are. Those are the ones where those are the two that we differed on the women's side of the bracket. And remember, scan the QR code with your phones if you're watching on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Scan it, get your picks in. See if you can see what you think about that. See what you think about our picks. I mean, let us know where we're wrong. Yeah. Let us know where we're wrong, which is nowhere. Obviously.
Never. I am right 1,000% of the time. Do you believe that?
Sure.
Yeah. No one else does, Ben. No one else. All right. Well, that is a look at the women's tournament. When we come back, we're going to get an update on the Cat Fund from Ben and go into the men's bracket. But first, final word from our friends over at Eternal Roofing.
Eternal Roofing is locally owned and dedicated to giving back to the community by supporting local organizations and charities. They are also the winner of Next Door's Neighborhood Faves for 2 consecutive years. And as you know, if you've listened to this podcast, Eternal Roofing is your choice for Christmas lights. They provide premium lights tailored to fit your home, season-long maintenance, and hassle-free removal. Kyle Tatum said, "They're very professional and great quality, on time and clean, and really made me feel like they cared for me and my home." Give Eternal Roofing a call today at area code 830-251-5673 or area code 936-215-8539, or you can email taylor@eternalroofingtx.com.
Again, thank you to our friends at Eternal Roofing. And now we switch over to an update from Ben about the Cat Fund. It's all yours, Ben.
Yeah, there we go. On our social medias this weekend and in the Sam Houston Athletics Facebook page, we announced the 21-13 giving fund for Sam Houston men's basketball, which I know we'll talk about here in a minute. 21 wins on the season, 13 in Conference USA. Every dollar goes towards supporting these athletes moving forward and ensuring we can continue to have success, and celebrates this incredible season that we have. So make sure you check out those links and consider supporting. Those links will probably be up for the next week as the tournament goes on, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But yeah, we've got the 21-13 giving donation fund going on right now for Sam Houston men's basketball.
You might need to use some of that fund to keep Coach Mudge.
We'll see.
I mean, hey, again, now we're on the men's bracket. You can scan the QR code, put in yours over at better-bracket.com. The Cats were without Po Boy King. His back stiffened up during warm-ups last week, right before their game at Delaware. He was removed. It sounds more precautionary, but he also didn't play in the regular season finale, which likely was more, you already had your seed wrapped up. It was more just making sure that he was healthy coming into the week. But the Cats fought. A last-minute change, you lose your leading scorer. 83-80 to Delaware was the final. Then they go to Liberty. They darn near beat Liberty, too. It was 79-72 there. They closed the regular season, 21-10 overall, 13-7 in the Conference USA. But I don't feel like they lost any momentum heading into the tournament.
Yeah, not really. Losing Po Boy King, it was literally 5 to 10 minutes before the game started. It's just a huge blow, especially to your game plan. I mean, there's so many things you got to change and rearrange when a guy, especially your leading scorer and probably your best player, goes out just a few minutes before the game. And Delaware's a team that sits in a zone, and I don't think that's the kind of – I mean, you should still win the game, but I don't think that's the kind of defense Sam Houston thrives against. And so you got behind early in the first half, caught back up, got behind early in the second half, caught back up, just couldn't finish it. And then against Liberty, I mean, you were down 17 early in the second half, and you had a chance to go ahead with a minute left. And so you showed the fight that you need to. That was the second leg of a road trip without Po Boy King on the road. So, I mean, on a neutral court with Po Boy King, I still feel like this team could probably beat anyone in the league.
Honestly, he is your three-point weapon.
In a lot of what they do offensively with their zoom action and ball screen handoff kind of stuff, it flows through him, and all of the counters work off of him. So you had to completely change your offense without him out there.
And he's a zone buster.
Yeah.
So if they're going to sit in zone, he's the guy that you want to kind of bust it. As long as he's healthy for this week, that's what matters.
And it sounds like he's going to be fine. It sounds like he probably could have played at Liberty if he had to. He'll be fine for Wednesday. That's what I've been told. Obviously, you never know with back spasms, but I was told yesterday that things are definitely trending in the right direction.
That is good news. Other good news, Conference USA awards came out. Now, again, some of that 21-13 might need to go to keeping Coach Mudge. He was named co-coach of the year, a well-deserved honor. And honestly, I don't know that he should have shared it. I get, you win the conference, they pretty much always. I just feel like the job he did from where they were expected to be to where they finished, I don't know that he had to be but I'm also not going to complain about it either.
Yeah, I'm just glad he did get in. on the honor because you were picked 9th in the league. You finished 2nd. You were playing 7 or 8 guys for the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season. Just some really difficult circumstances, and you found a way to get it done. And he did a great job as 2nd Coach of the Year honor in 3 years in Conference USA.
And that is voted on by the coaches.
Yeah.
And so that shows a lot of respect for Mudge and what he's able to do. He wasn't the only one to win awards. They had quite a few awards on the men's side. Jacob Walker with the oddest name award in basketball, the 6th player of the year. How about the 6th man?
Yeah, they use 6th player for women, which I understand, but I thought it was weird they didn't use it on the men's side.
How about 6th woman?
Yeah, that works too.
I mean, come on now. I get it, but 6th player really doesn't sound like an honor to me.
Yeah, it sounds like you're the 6th best player on your team.
Yeah, it sounds like the first loser, right?
Yeah, the first loser of the team.
But Jacob Walker, I am glad to see him get this, especially since he didn't get like freshman or something like that. You know,
did you see the Freshman of the Year fiasco?
Oh, it was. Let me tell you, there was a conversation that went on for hours on our podcast chat today, talking about a 21-year-old junior winning Freshman of the Year.
Yeah, just because he didn't play his first 2 years of college. I mean, he's technically a redshirt sophomore, but he had never really appeared in games until this year, and somehow he still won Freshman of the Year, which is fine, I guess. I don't know. I mean, if he is a freshman, he probably was the best, but I don't know if he was a freshman.
Don't they have a newcomer of the year? Didn't I see that?
There was a newcomer of the year, yeah.
Man, if only they had an award like newcomer of the year that they could give to the 21-year-old junior playing his first season.
Yeah, and you take Christian Bliss from Delaware out, I think it should have been either Armello Boone from WKU or Jacob Walker from Sam Houston getting that award.
Yeah, I understand, but there's one problem with WKU.
What's that?
We don't know a lot about Western Kentucky.
We just don't know a whole lot about them. That's the problem. Cashy Nat was Defensive Player of the Year. A great honor, well-deserved honor. That guy is all over the place. I don't know how many times I've heard a commentary, a color guy say he is a Nat on the floor.
Yeah, well, and Sam Houston got both with Fanta Kone on the women's side and Cashy Nat on the men's side. And during the broadcast at Liberty on Saturday, they mentioned in their production call with Coach Mudge that NBA teams are reaching out about Cashy Nat, his athleticism, defense ability, and he's shooting around 40% from 3 this year too.
Yeah, definitely. So the Cats, the Defensive Player of the Year awards. Congratulations. Oh boy, Kings, 2nd team all conference. Cashy Nat was 3rd team, and Jacob made the all freshman team that included some non-freshmen.
Yep. And this, I tweeted this a couple hours ago, but this was the first year since 2017 that Sam Houston men's basketball did not have a player on the first team all conference list. But I don't know if we've ever had this many awards total for a team, and I think it just speaks to the well-roundedness that this team has and how many different guys contribute.
Yeah, what would it look like if they had all 12 players and not like 6 injuries this year?
Oh, I know. Sheck Njai, Justin Begg, Jackson Ford, guys like that. I mean, if you had a little more depth, I mean, this team would really be cooking.
That's why it's hard for me not to think that Mudge should be just Coach of the Year.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, I get it. Liberty guys got to have some respect as well because they did win the conference. All right, let's take a look at where the Cats sit coming into the Conference USA tournament, and they sit in a great spot with the number 2 seed. Liberty's the number 1 seed overall. They meet the winner of FIU Missouri State on Wednesday. Sam Houston gets the Jack State, New Mexico State winner. And if New Mexico State loses and they get a long delay at the airport, when they get back, will their head coach be fired?
I don't think so because he got 2 extension years last year. So probably not, but that did happen on the women's side for New Mexico State.
It sure did. And so the question became, did she get fired at home or did she get fired at Hobby Airport?
It was at home, which was the right thing to do, but it took them a little longer than they probably expected to.
Very much so. La Tech's the 4 seed, Middle Tennessee's the 5. The winner there likely meets Liberty. And then you've got the 3 seed, WKU, and the 6 Kennesaw State down there. Winner of that one likely plays Sam Houston. If Sam Houston, now look, you can't just say Sam Houston's going to get by. They've lost to New Mexico State this year.
Yeah, and Jack State gave them a run for their money on their home court 2 weeks ago.
This conference is not easy at all, which means it's time to see the most perfect bracket on the face of the earth. My bracket. We know that. Tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. All these games are on ESPN Plus until the semifinals. Then they go CBS Sports Network for semis and championship. Number 8 seed FIU, number 9 seed Missouri State. I got FIU winning that one. I don't know that it's going to be necessarily that close. I just think that they have a style that's going to be tough for Missouri State. The 7-10 game tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Jack State, New Mexico State. Going with New Mexico State. I'm going with the 10 over the 7. I know Jack State is good, but Ben, I feel like New Mexico State has maybe underperformed at times this year.
And they finished on a good note. They had a good week and they went 2-0.
They did. I took that into account as well. Number 1 seed Liberty, I think they handle FIU. They're kind of like a machine. And then the other one tomorrow night, 8 p.m. ESPN Plus. Sam Houston. I have Sam Houston over New Mexico State, but they better not sleep on that one.
No, they absolutely cannot. I mean, that's what happened when they played at New Mexico State. They went down by like 20 in the first half and just couldn't make up the deficit.
Yeah, I don't see it happening, though, tomorrow or Wednesday.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. Thursday, the quarterfinals continue. La Tech, Middle Tennessee have the 5:30 game. I've got La Tech winning that one. And then we go to the 3-6, Western Kentucky and Kennesaw State. And you know the thing about Western Kentucky, right?
Right now, we don't know a lot about Western Kentucky.
No, but we're going to find out in this tournament. I think
we really don't, because they won like 6 in a row and then got blasted twice this last weekend.
Yeah, no, I did notice that too. But I think they still beat Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State, man, they've had one heck of a year, haven't they?
You could bet on it, yeah.
Exactly. There was some betting going on.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Semifinals. Friday, 11:30 a.m. for the semifinals for the men. And by the way, that's one thing to think about here, too. A 5:30 game for La Tech Middle Tennessee State. The winner turns around and plays at 11:30. You're getting off the court, probably back to the hotel room, 8:30, 9-ish, get some food. And then you're going to play 11:30 the next morning against Liberty, who had the day off.
Yeah, both of the semifinal matchups are huge advantages for whoever comes through, whether that be Liberty, Sam Houston, FIU, Jack State, New Mexico State, whoever it is. I mean, they're going to have a huge advantage.
I've got Liberty going, and then it's chalky for me here outside of the 10-7. I went very chalky. Semifinals, Sam Houston, 2:00. So Western Kentucky, let's just put it out the same way we did for La Tech. 8 p.m. game. It gets over by the time they get back to the hotel room, 11:30, 12. Then they're going to have meal. You always have that, like, maybe not everyone, but me, I have to have some time after a game like that. I got to have like some time to calm down before I can go to sleep. Maybe not everyone's like that,
yeah,
but I know I am. And then you're up the next day eating breakfast and learning about Sam Houston, because that's who you play at 2:00, while they were probably, either sitting in the hotel or sitting in the stands watching you.
Yeah, and I know we talked about it on the episode last week, but it says 8 p.m. probably would be closer to 9 p.m. You're not getting back to the hotel till like midnight, probably.
At best, midnight,
Yeah.
1 a.m. So I take Sam Houston there. And then we have the championship, 7:30. Saturday night, CBS Sports Network, Liberty, Sam Houston. I know Liberty's beat them both times. I feel like they are susceptible. Like La Tech on the women's side, to me, kind of feels like a coronation has come, right? They've just dominated since Sam Houston beat them to open the conference season. Liberty, though, when I look at them statistically, they bleed offensive rebounds. They're not great on defense, especially from the arc. I think Sam Houston takes them. I think they get the bid to the NCAA tournament, and I'm going to go ahead and mark it down as a 14 seed for Sam Houston.
I love it. And before I make my picks, have you seen the betting odds for this weekend's for this week's tournament on the men's side?
I absolutely have not.
It's interesting. About half the books have Sam Houston as the favorite, and half of them have Liberty as the favorite.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be just a knockdown, drag out game. We hope that's how it plays out.
I was gonna say, here's another question for you, who's seen a lot of tournament brackets, because we're seeing a lot of different kinds. Do you think the 1 seed and the 2 seed get a good enough advantage in this bracket?
I will tell you that I normally hear 1 seeds complain about not having a big advantage. The 1 seed has the best advantage that you can give them.
Yep.
They are playing Wednesday. They get a day off. They're playing a team, when they play their first game, they're playing a team that just played a game the night before. They've got a quick turnaround. Then you get a day off, and then you're playing a team that's coming off a night game at 11:30 in the morning. Yeah. The way this one's set up might be the best to protect the top seeds.
I agree, and I think it also gives the lower seeds a shot too. I think it protects the top 2 seeds, and then the other ones still have a fighting chance also.
By the way, Sunshine is attacking her lammy over there, if you heard the squeaky toy going. All right, let's look at Ben's bracket, which is probably the bracket that's going to win it all outside of Gabe's. Gabe's top seed, in my opinion. Ben, you start 8-9. This time, you're going 9. I went 8. I went 9 on the women's side. You're going 9 on the men's side.
Yeah, FIU. I mean, I've seen FIU and Missouri State live this year in person, and I don't think FIU has what it takes. I like what Missouri State has on paper. They're very streaky. They're very up and down, but I think their highs are a lot higher than FIU, and I like their big men. Also, I think they have 2 of the best bigs in the league. They struggle with the guard play a little bit. So I'm going to go Missouri State. I think they win that one, and I agree with you. New Mexico State takes down Jack State. That was a game this last weekend that went into overtime, but New Mexico State was able to pull it out. The problem with Jack State for me is they just rely way too much on Mustafa El Mutauakil. I think that's how you say his name. I mean, top scorer in the league, but they really don't have anything else besides that.
I'm glad you took that name and not me.
Yeah, it's and I'm glad I don't have to say it 20 times a game, because he scores 25 to 30 a night, almost every night. But I think you need multiple scorers to win in March, and they just don't have that. So give me New Mexico State. Moving back up towards the top, Liberty takes down Missouri State. And to hit on Liberty as a whole, obviously I think they're probably the most talented team on paper, but they come in having lost 3 out of 5 coming into the tournament. So not as hot as they were at the beginning of the season. So they definitely are susceptible, but I think they get past Missouri State. Sam Houston takes down New Mexico State. I think that's a big rest advantage. New Mexico State team that played on Saturday, I think they had to fly out Sunday, play Tuesday, then they would have to play again Wednesday. I mean, that is just a lot to ask for them to do. And I think Sam Houston is the better team right now. I think it's definitely going to be a close game, but I think Sam Houston takes it and they move on to the semis. Louisiana Tech against Middle Tennessee. This is a very interesting game. Louisiana Tech maybe had the best weekend that any team has had all season. They beat Delaware by, I think, 43 on the road, and they beat Liberty on the road, so they are hot. Middle Tennessee, I think they come in having won 5 in a row, so they're hot also. I think this is a sneaky game. Either of these teams could beat Liberty, but I'm going to go Louisiana Tech. And I think Liberty wins it just because the rest advantage is a big factor, but wouldn't be surprised if either of those teams ends up in the final.
That 4-5, honestly, that may be the whole game of the entire tournament. It
Yeah,
might
I
be one of
agree.
those overtime 2-3 overtime thrillers, and if it is, that's only a bigger advantage for Sam Houston on Friday.
Well, Liberty on Friday, yeah, and hopefully the WKU
Both,
Kennesaw.
because the WKU game wouldn't start until like 9.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, exactly. So I'm rooting for that too. This is another interesting one with WKU and Kennesaw because Kennesaw, when you just watch them, I mean, physically and talent-wise, I think they're a top 2 or 3 team in the league. They are just so physically impressive in what they do, and you can see why they were picked second in the league to start the year. WKU, I just can't trust them. I mean, they were so bad there in the middle of conference play, and then they found a way to win 6 straight. And then they were on the road for these last 2 games and just looked awful.
Right
and
now,
so
we don't know a lot about Western Kentucky.
I don't think they know a lot about themselves too. So I'm going to go Kennesaw State. I think they're just playing a little bit better, have a little bit more momentum. I think they're a little more consistent. And so I'm going to go Kennesaw State to get into the semifinal. That's kind of my upset to get to the semis. Like I said, I'll take Liberty over Louisiana Tech, but that is going to be a heck of a game, I think. And then I'm going to take Sam Houston over Kennesaw State, set up the same matchup that you had between Liberty and Sam Houston. And I'm going to take Sam Houston. I know the old saying, it's hard to beat a team 3 times. I typically don't buy into that, but when the first 2 games were pretty close and back and forth, and then the second one, you were without your best player, Sam Houston was, and it was the second leg of a road trip. I think you finally get them in the championship game, and I'm going to go Sam Houston as the winner of the tournament. And like you said, I think they're probably a 14 seed.
Yeah, listen, I'm with you on that. I don't normally go into the it's hard to beat a team 3 times, but I also do look like you did at what was those games like?
Right.
Right? Did you have the close games, or were they beating you by 15-20?
Yeah.
that does matter.
And in the first matchup, you really hadn't found your identity and who you are, and you were a very different team. I mean, your rotation was 10 or 11 guys at that point, and then you started to figure it out in the weeks after that. And then when you played them a second time, I think if you were at full strength, you had a real shot to win it. Had a real shot to win it even without Po' Boy King, and I think the third time might be the charm.
The funny thing is you say full strength, which is really like half strength.
Yeah, 8 of the 15 or 8 of the 14 guys on the roster. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like if you were only at half strength, if you were at full half strength.
If we were at 2/3 strength, we could get one more guy.
But that is why, and you asked about the bracket and the timing of it and how that goes. It's why it's so important for Sam Houston to have gotten that 2 seed. Because with an 8-man team that you're taking into this tournament, if you're trying to win 3 games in 3 days, it's really hard, really a lot to ask.
Yeah, and now you've got 3 games in 4 days. You've got a gap in the middle of it, and you've got the rest advantage for 2 of the first 3, and the last one's just all hands on deck, and everybody's going to be giving it all they have, and it doesn't really matter at that point. So, yeah, huge advantage for you.
Neither team's going to have any sort of real rest advantage coming into the championship game. Liberty's going to get about a 3.5 hour advantage at most.
Yeah, I think it's like a 30-hour gap instead of a 27-hour gap, something like that.
That's the other thing. They're playing in the afternoon, and so that gives you more time before the championship game as well. I really do like how they've laid this one out. There's a lot of things I cannot give Conference USA credit about right now.
Yeah.
But this one I do.
Yeah, like I said, I think it gives the top 2 seeds a nice advantage, and it lets the other teams still be in play. It's not like the Sun Belt or the American kind of thing where if you're the 9 seed, you got to go win 6 games in 6 days or something like that.
I hear you, man. Well, that does it. You have seen our brackets. Now submit yours. The links, Substack page, visit March to the Pod on social media. You'll see them there. They'll continue to pop up tonight and tomorrow. And we also want to say thank you to Eternal Roofing for being our presenter once again. And thank you to all of you who joined us on a wild Monday. You know, we decided a Monday night show. We appreciate you joining us and listening. And we'll be back soon with more Bearcat athletics coverage and likely on a Wednesday again? We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see, because if Sam Houston makes the men's tournament, we're going to have another bracket show.
Oh, well, if either team wins
Yes.
this weekend,
Yes.
we're definitely going to be all in on them next week.
Don't count out the women because Gabe picked them.
I mean, they've got a legitimate shot. They beat all the teams in front of them.
It is hard to beat a team like Sam Houston's win.
And especially a team like Sam Houston that is the best conditioned, I think, in the league. And when you got to go win 3 games in 3 days or 3 in 4 days, it's tough. And I think Sam Houston might be built to do it. We'll see.
The only team that I think would be a trouble for Sam Houston this weekend, the women's side, is FIU.
They played a very similar style, and it showed up in the 2 games.
It did. They play it a little bit better sometimes when it's head-to-head. And that I don't think it's that they're necessarily playing it better, but pressing teams hate to face other pressing teams, and FIU handles that just a tad bit better.
Yeah, and you maybe should have beat them at home. It was the jersey mix-up that kind of screwed you. Lost you 2 points, and you lost by 2.
That's right. Oh my goodness, it's going to be a great week, man. Starting tomorrow morning.
Yeah. All week.
Get those brackets in.
We sleep in May.
That's right. We ain't sleeping for a long time now. We also got Space Cowboys baseball starting on the 21st, Ben.
That's the important stuff.
Yes. Trust me.
Yes.
Hey, but before that, we got to get the Bearkats some wins this weekend. Ben, take us home.
Eat 'em up, Cats, and let's bring back 2 trophies to Huntsville.
Ooh, I like the sound of 2 trophies.